Hello everyone, welcome to Unconventional Money. In today's episode, we actually have a Lamborghini here. Now today's episode, everybody, is going to be about the cost of a vehicle and is it worth it? So this is a $100,000 Lamborghini. So let's put this into perspective. Let's say you have some money saved up and you want to get this car. You're probably going to put at least $25,000 to $30,000 down. And in addition to that, you're probably going to have a monthly payment of, let's say, $3,000 to $4,000 a month, right? So let's think about this from a business point of view. Could I buy this car? Maybe, but would it be worth it? Think about what an extra $4,000 a month can do. So $4,000 a month invested, let's say, in a business, how much more income could I generate? Whereas this car, this income it'll never come back to me unless I'm going to use this car to generate me business. So here's how this car could be worth it. If I were to buy this vehicle and let's say put a company wrap on it and use it for advertisement purposes when I'm going to meetings and venues, then the car may in fact be worth it. Now, if you have so much money where you could straight out buy this, then that's a whole different thing. You're on a different level. But for the everyday person who's just going to be saving up money to buy a car like this, to make lease payments,
not in my house.
It's a really foolish investment. Why? Because this car will lose so much value within such a short period of time that it's really not worth it. Let me give you an example. This is a 2019 car, right? When this car came out, it was probably 150, 160. Now, just a few years later, it's about 100. What do you think is going to happen in another 4 or 5 years? This car's probably going to drop down to $75,000. That's a foolish thing to invest your money in because it's a depreciating asset. It'll never come back more valuable. The only way it would be is if you're buying classic cars or you're refurbishing, antique vehicles and then selling them. I have a neighbor who kind of did this. He'd buy old cars that needed work. He'd fix them up and sell them for profit. So that's one thing. But just to be buying a cool car to look cool, it's a really foolish thing. Here's a quick story. I have a friend, she's up in the East Coast, and one of her friends recently was kind of making fun of her for not having a good car. Her friend's boyfriend, I guess, got her a brand new Range Rover, $80,000 car. Looked really good. And so she called me, she was a little bit upset about it. And I said, listen, at the end of the day, who do you think wins more? The person who can put away $3-4 grand a month, or the person who has an expensive car that shows off to other people who people really don't care about at the end of the day? I said, at the end of the day, I'd rather have that money left over to roll over into investing or into growing a business than to drive around something that looks cool. I myself have a Honda Civic and I've driven that car for the last year and a half. And I've never been turned down in a business opportunity because I have a Honda Civic. In fact, sometimes it's the opposite. When people see I have a lower car, I'm more relatable and they'd rather work with me, right? Because I'm more relatable. That's a car that a lot of people can have. Here's a good example. A couple years ago, I remember my mom wanted to refurbish one of her bathrooms. And she had asked me for help to kind of meet the contractors and whatnot. And I said, okay, I know the trades, I know how the sales are, I'll do it. So I remember a lady came by, she was very lovely, very nice, and she gave us a price that was literally like 5 or 6 grand more than even the next closest guy. And I thought, why is she so much more expensive? And I remember thinking to myself, I said, I'm gonna see the car she's driving when she leaves this house. So she's leaving my mother's house, I go outside to look, and sure enough, she's in I believe it was an Audi or a Mercedes. It was a very high-end car. And at that moment, I realized why she was charging me more, because she's got a $3,000 monthly payment on a vehicle that she needs to make. So where is she making that money? She's making it from the customers by charging more to offset her lifestyle. Guess who we ended up working with? The guy that had the beat up pickup truck because he was 5-6 grand less. You know why? Because he doesn't need to charge crazy overhead because he doesn't have these expenses. So guys, is there anything wrong with having a nice car? No, I enjoy nice cars, but just to have it is a really silly thing. And here's what you need to remember. At the end of the day, nobody cares if you have a nice car. Let me break it to you, young people. Nobody cares if you have a nice car. And if they do care and they're only your friend because of a nice car, those are not the kind of people you want around your life. So keep that in mind. Save your money, invest it. Think of it this way. In 5 years, if you can save $3 grand a month, that's over $60,000 within a 5-year period that you could have saved. Or would you rather have a nice car? So remember, delayed gratification. Keep the money, save it now, or look cool now and be broke later. It's up to you to choose. But hey guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Unconventional Money, Car Edition, and we look to see you soon. Thank you so much.
Ram wants you to succeed and will continue to bring you unconventional money-making content for free. Leave a comment below, a like, and if you would, subscribe for more money-making tips. Also, take this opportunity for an amazing offer from Webull. 2 free stocks worth up to $1,800. See the link in the description below. They even give Ram a free stock. Everybody wins.